Hello, my dear folks, my dear audiences. Welcome to the show, channel 44.9 G&E TV. This is the East-West Show, Jack Chow hosting. Thank you very much for watching one more time. And today, our subject is talking about the series, the whole series, as one piece, one episode of the whole series, in commemoration of the celebration of the 70th anniversary of human race winning World War II. Yes, for the series, we had many times to get this chance to sit together with Mr. Chris Nibby, but yet this is my first time, only second time of my entire life. But the series only though, this is only first time I have his partner joining me. I would like to officially make an announcement / introduction about you two. Since my audiences already know Chris Nibby for quite some time, some of you know him even more than you do me. So I would do with my good friend JJ first. Mr. JJ Osborne, he is the co-producer and the vice president of Monarax Pictures, beautiful one in Hollywood, also started many years ago in Germany. So welcome to the show, JJ.
Thanks, Jack.
And to my right, of course, Chris Nibby, director and producer of many series, many episodes of a series that includes 16 of wonderful episodes. One of them is the latest release, not released yet, the latest masterpiece entitled Unit 731. So to you both, welcome to the show. I try to put up a more smiley face than what I wear right now. I just can't, because I still feel the sadness, feel the moment that I was so saddened when I was invited on a Saturday, the previous week, to do a private show, especially for me and my group, with this film, wonderful masterpiece, 731. On one hand, I would say that it is one of the best, I would say, I promise you. You will agree with me next time we will see that. One of the best documentaries that I've ever seen. And on the other hand, I feel proud of my life that I have both of them as my friend. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. So please accept my appreciation. Not as a personal appreciation, also on behalf of this organization, on behalf of the human race, but because for the fact that you brought justice back to life. For that, I give you both hands, both thumbs up. Right? Okay.
Thanks, Jack.
Sure. Thank you very much. We all know that during World War II, the Japanese invaders, Imperial Japan, had committed a huge crime beyond the imagination. If somebody tells me somebody gets robbed, somebody gets raped, my hatred starts right there. But if somebody tells me somebody put it in a lab unit on the territory of China to do their quote-unquote experimental research, to cut your leg off, to put your hand to it, to cut your left one, to stick it to your right one, and to do the biochemical test stuff on human body most time alive. That's really, I can't tell you anything. I'm kind of wordless. So, to both of you though, I know that it's a group work, it's a teamwork, that you put your talent, he does his. into this whole thing, though. By the storyline or timeline, though, how do you want my audience to understand your Unit 731 as a whole body, please?
When you ask that question, I have to ask back. Are you referring to the making of the film or overall?
The concept of making the film, yeah.
Okay. Well, it started with Chris. Chris was given this idea from after the release of Diaoyu Islands. We had quite a strong reaction, and with the anniversary coming up, this issue came to the forefront. And rightfully so, Chris said, this is a film we need to make. So we began by essentially tacking on a few weeks to a few of our other productions, and we began filming in Changchun, Harbin, and various places throughout what was the puppet state of Manchukuo. Then we finished our summer slate of filming, came back, and we dug deep into research, which took a few months. Narration was written, narration was rewritten. We went. This was a tough process because we learned only by first starting it how to make it right. It wasn't an easy film to make because you can't focus only on Unit 731. It required a much bigger picture. Fortunately, Chris, from his previous years, has a lot of archival footage that allowed us to go deeper into World War II, tying in European World War II with the Eastern theater in China, Japan, Southeast Asia. That gave the film something that, as an American, I've never seen, which is a wonderful unity of what happened, what really happened that started the war, how did the Axis powers come to be, what was their real interest in the war. It's not really discussed, and surprisingly, it's very simple. They just wanted to rule the world. And that's a little over-ambitious when you say it like that. But at the time, that was a very real thought that they had. So we started looking at this, and we saw, wow, this is a very big concept. And in the middle of it all was Unit 731. We've heard of the Holocaust in Germany, Poland, and that really dominates, that very much so dominates World War II atrocities. And nobody that I know, myself included, up until the point that I started really digging into my research, which I've been doing for years, working with Chris now. But it wasn't until then that I realized, wow, this is unknown. This is unknown. This is something that really needs to be known and is not at all. And it became the focal point of the film. That's why the film has the title Unit 731, despite covering a much wider gamut. And we ended up finishing right at the beginning of this year. And when we watched the film, Chris and I both had tears in our eyes a few times, because it was just, not only was it a work of love and absolute dedication, but it was also a film that we knew would touch people, because it had that ability to cross barriers that if we only focused on the Chinese side of it, we wouldn't have been able to do.
Yeah, thank you, JJ. Thank you very much. Thank you for the statement too. Thank you for speaking out your mind. And to the same question, what's your answer, please?
I think JJ said it all. There is very little to add. And to the best of my knowledge, there also has never been a film putting the ambition of Japan and Germany so clear that they really wanted to have this absurd idea to control the world and then share the spoils.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you very much, JJ. I want to tell my audience is the entire moment of watching the film from A to Z. The only thing I did was crying. I'm not a soft man. I consider myself tough enough to stand any situation. Okay, if you do not want to believe me, just to take something, cut my arm, you see what I respond. I would not even frown, right, like that kind. So At that very moment, I just couldn't control myself. Let me tell you why I cried. You guys saw my tears in my eyes and running down my face, even ran down into my champagne glass, right? Yeah. Which I did, right? I cried for two reasons. Number one, for the crime, for the heinous crime, the most beyond the imagination atrocity. Right? Number one, that happened in human race. Mhm. And number two, I cried, which is the bigger part, which is the most part. Why I cried is because why for these many years, for those many years past already, we did not understand it. It wasn't brought to daylight. It wasn't brought to the eye of the public. Especially it wasn't brought to the eye of our young generation. No wonder they keep on changing their textbooks, right? No wonder they never apologize. No wonder not a penny is paid for the war compensation, right? So that was exactly the reason I cried. I can tell my audience also, I'm so touched that I decided, I said, Chris and JJ, please come to my studio. Let's do a big time. Let's bring a bigger picture to our audiences about to understand, of course, to recognize your achievement is one thing. I'm not doing you a favor. I'm doing human race a favor for that monument. That is a monument. My dear audiences, we're talking about a new masterpiece created by these two wonderful gentlemen. Both of them are my friends. I'm proud to have those kind of friends. We're talking about the masterpiece entitled Unit 731 that tells you about during the war of invading China, what the Japan invaders did, in addition to what happened in Nanjing. So stay with us, please.